to another episode of Dad Can We Talk. I'm your host, Anthony Ray. And this is episode 52. And listen, man, I need y'all, like I always say, I need for y'all to go and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts. If that's where you listen to podcasts at. If you listen on Spotify or Breaker or RadioCast or wherever you get your podcasts at, go to wherever you listen on your platform and subscribe to the podcast. If you can, leave a review. I know a lot of people support the podcast, man, and that's the best way, if you really want to help me out, is to subscribe and to leave a review, because the algorithm, that's how the algorithms go, man. So I'm trying to just get the podcast to be more seen on these platforms. So I need y'all help in that area. If y'all could be kind enough to do that. But yeah, I just thank all my supporters out there, man. Sorry, last week, man, I had to take a week off. We had a couple of things that came up, so yeah, be looking forward to my man Ronnie Williams, man. We will be getting together. We just had to do a little postponement, man. But today, I'm with my brother Steve Woods, man. Yeah, we finna get it in today, man. This is one of my partners from the DC, from Walmart Distribution Center. And around the warehouse, they call him Big Face, man. Big dog.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, in the house. Big Faces in the house.
Yeah, man. So I like to call him LL Cool J, man. You know, he got the fresh body, you know, Big Diesel, man. You know, LL in the house.
I got so many names, so that's what happened. All right. I work with them all, baby. You know what I'm talking about? I work with them all. Okay.
Yes, sir, man. But yeah, we gonna get it in today, man. Another thing, if y'all could go and find 6 O'Clock Studios on Instagram, go and like the 6 O'Clock Studio. I think it's up under, if you type in 6 O'Clock Studios, like the word 6, and then the O'Clock Studios, you could you will find the page for 6 O'Clock Studios. Go and like the page, man. Shout out to my man T. Whitey for offering me this space to do my thing, man. Shout out to my dog, you know. So if y'all need some studio time, holla at my man T. Whitey at 6 O'Clock Studios for all of your needs, for graphic needs. He does t-shirts, all type of stuff, man. Flyers, everything, man. Logos. Hit my man T. Whitey up for all of that. For all of that right there, man. But yeah, man, without further ado, man, I want to get into it, man. I'm ready to get into this right here, man. So
let's make it happen then, baby. Let's make it happen.
First question I always like to ask on the podcast is, what was your relationship like with your dad, man? I want you to talk to the people about that.
Honestly, well, I appreciate the question. Honestly, the relationship I had with my dad was zero.
Yeah.
Didn't know him.
Dang.
My mom was my dad.
Okay.
For the whole 40-some years, she was my dad. He lived in Arkansas. I lived in Arkansas for my first 2 years. Mm-hmm. After that, we moved to the Motor City, Detroit, baby. Recognize Detroit. Okay. We moved to Detroit my first 2 years, and I was up there for like 30 years, and I think I seen my so-called dad one time when we went back to Little Rock, Arkansas to visit. But I was still a baby, so I didn't know who the man was. But after that, you know, that was just a little visit. After that, we went back to Detroit and we lived on. So I really didn't know my daddy, man. My other brother, we had a stepdad that stepped in. Okay. Now his name Van West. Shout out to Van West.
Shout out.
Now he raised me since I was 3 up until today. Mm-hmm. So as a real dad, that was my daddy.
Okay.
Now the sperm donor, sorry to say it, but y'all, I didn't know him. But my real dad, that I consider my real dad, was Van West, man. That was my brother's daddy who actually married my mom. So
okay,
that's who raised me.
Yeah.
So
that's what's
that's how that happened.
And see, I like stuff like that because, I think, every time I see a guy that's not necessarily raising his children, but raising someone else's children, I always like to tell them that, man, that child is yours. If you provide for that child, you take care of that child, you love that child, you give that child security, you give that child what they need.
Yes,
bro,
sir.
Listen, that's your child. They just might not have your blood,
Right.
but at the end of the day, that don't always mean everything. Because a lot of us have had dads that have our same blood, might look we'll be in that Joker image, and he don't do nothing for us, and that does not make that person our dad. I mean, they'll always be our dad.
Right.
They helped to bring us into this world, but yeah, man, shout out to Mr. Van, man, for stepping in and doing what you needed to do and taking care of some
real deal, man.
Child,
real
man.
deal.
That's what's up.
He did that, man, because we had I got 5 other brothers, and out of them 5 other brothers, he only was responsible for 2, which was my 2 youngest brothers.
Okay.
But he did the whole daddy job with the whole 5.
Yeah.
So he was there when he came into our life. My oldest brother was already like 15, 16. So, he just said, hey, if I'm gonna be with your mom, I gotta take on all 5 of y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do that. Okay. And he did it. And I'm telling you, man, we never disrespected him as far as, you're not my dad, I'm not gonna listen to you, this or that. Because, hey, the man he looked scary now. So we did what we had to do as little kids. He did what he had to do. He made sure we got up every morning. Yeah. My mom didn't have to work that much. So he made sure we got up every morning. Hey, I don't care what your clothes look like, but to him, you was not going out the house with your hair nappy, brother. That was his only thing. Yeah. I don't care what you put on, you better brush your hair. Yeah. And we did that, man. And he left us, back in the day, we had little penny candy stores and stuff like that. And he left us money on the table. Hey, y'all get up, put your school clothes on. Yeah. Y'all get this 50 cents a piece. Hey, we talking 30-some years ago. That 50 cents was a lot, brother. We hit that penny candy store, man. You get your 25 pieces of candy, a bag of chips. Boy, you doing it. You doing it big. And I really appreciate him for that, man. And he stepped up and he did it big for the whole, until everybody was grown.
All right.
Till everybody was grown, until my mom passed away, and then he moved back to Arkansas, man. So big shout out to Van West, man. That's my dad, dog. That's my dad.
For real. Giving shout out to all the stepdads out there, man. For all the men that step up and take on that role, man. That's very commendable of any man that decides to do that, man. So was it all boys?
All boys.
All boys.
All boys, man. We ain't had no girls. She tried.
Yeah.
She tried, but she kept pushing out them knuckleheads. And that's all she had was all boys, man.
Yeah. What, you oldest, youngest?
I'm the 3rd, so I got... No, I'm sorry. I take that back. It's 1, 2, 3, 4... Yeah, actually, it was 6 of us. So I'm like... I got 2 older brothers, older than me. Mm-hmm. And then me and my 2 middle brothers, we like a year apart. Okay. But he older because his birthday was in April, mine's in March. Okay. So he was a year older than me, and then I got 2 little brothers. So it was 6 of us all together. So I'm like right in the middle. Okay. I was the big brother at one point, and then I'm the small brother at another point. So she tried, man. We had no sisters, man. No sisters.
What was that experience like? Out of my mom's children and my dad's children, I'm the middle. So I don't know, man, for me, that experience was difficult growing up, not being the oldest, not being the oldest and not being the baby.
Right.
Because with my oldest brother is my mom and my dad's oldest child. And then my little brother from my mom was my mom's baby and his dad's baby. So I always felt like they had like this special thing, and it was just hard for me growing up trying to figure out where I fit in at, and it was just always something that was hard. And that's why, my son is my middle child, And I just try to always make sure he's good because I know how it was growing up.
Right,
you know,
right,
as a middle child.
right.
Do you ever experience anything like that?
I never experienced that, man, because all my brothers, we all lived in one house.
Yeah.
So we knew that we had different dads, but we all was brothers.
Yeah.
So, and that's how I knew them. Like, all of them was my brother because they all came from my mom, but we knew we had different dads out there somewhere. But my last two brothers, my smallest brother, you know, their dad was the only one that was in the household. It wasn't like my oldest brother dad would come around and be like, damn, is that my dad? Or, you know, who is this guy over here living with us? If that's my brother's dad, that got to be my dad. It was never that. It was just him.
Yeah.
So we only knew him as the dad.
That's real.
But when my mama broke it down to us, you know, this is their dad, but this is everybody's dad. But you know, this is the reason why y'all have different last names. You know, his last name was West, and you know, ours was Woods. But every brother that I had always had the last name Woods, except for my oldest brother. His last name was Martin. But we didn't get into that until we got older, you know, 16, 17, where we can understand. But as a unit, it was just my mom, my dad, and, you know, my other 5 brothers. And we lived there, man, until we just started branching off. My older brother branched off, got married, then the second oldest branched off, and then it just kept dwindling down. I left the house when I had my first kid. I left the house at 17.
Yeah.
Me and my lady went and got us a house, but we had twins. Yeah. And my mother, of course, she didn't want us to go nowhere. You know, they was her grandbabies. But I said, hey, look here, I'm a man now. Yeah. I got to go work. I got 2 kids because I had twins at the time. At 18, I was, what? 18, dog. Boy and a girl. So I was done. Damn. I had what I wanted. Me and my lady moved out, man. We got our own place at 18, man. And you know, I ain't looked back then. But it was a blessing for that. And, I mean, of course, my mom helped us out every time, every chance she could get.
Shout out to mom.
Oh, man, no doubt, man. It ain't nothing like a mom, man. I don't understand how these people do it, how they disrespect their parents, but they don't understand what all these parents go through, man, as far as raising these kids, man, especially boys. All right. Boys, come on, man. You know,
so had all boys. I know how it was, boy.
So, and then she became a foster parent. And that's when we first got our little sister. We was 20, 25 at the time, and she wanted to get into the business of helping other kids. Went to the adopting agency. I mean, firmly adopt these 2 little. It was a boy and a girl, and that became my brother and sister. They got the same last name as us, man. And everybody doing good now. Everybody done branched off. They grown. But back to your question, bro, I ain't never experienced that, man, because we was just all one big unit. And I didn't care who was the youngest, who was the oldest. Now, when we get in trouble, now the big brother,
you got to take on that responsibility.
Oh, man. When it's time to get whooped, mama say, hey, go see him. And because, you know, that took some pressure off of her. And then you would ask, why am I getting whooped? Because I know you're going to do something later on. So while your brother doing his thing, go in there and line up and get in there. But other than that, man, we was good, man. I never experienced that, man, because we was all one big unit and one big house up there in the Motor City, man, and we just did what we had to do. Now we got in trouble now, but we did what we had to do, man.
Okay. Man, you talked about the twins, man. I want you to talk about what ran through your head when you first found out that you were about to be a dad?
Bro, I was about to pass out.
Yeah.
Well, I take that back. Not that I was gonna be a dad. Yeah. But when we went to go get the ultrasound, and the lady say, "You don't say I hear a heartbeat." I said, "Yeah, we here for ultrasound. She pregnant." She said, "No. I'm talking about I hear another heartbeat." So she laying on the bed. I said, "No, doc, that's the same heartbeat." She said, "No, sir, that's 2 different heartbeats." Man, I had to get on the phone, call my mom. Man, I said, "Mom, I think we having 2 kids." And she said, "What?" I said, "Yeah, I think we having 2. And she said, "Well, get ready." I said, "Twins?" And she said, "Twins don't even run in our family." Now, twins run in my mama's brother's on his side. Yeah. But he had like 3 sets of twins. But she said on her side, twins don't run in our family. Yeah. So I'm like, and the funny part about it is that me and my brother, who have the same dad, he had twins, boy and a girl.
Dang.
Then I turned around and had twins, boy and a girl. But yeah, man, it was a blessing. I was happy, sad at the same time. Two, man, I got to deal with two at 18. Boy. But you know what? We had to do what we had to do. She worked, I worked. Mama watched the kids a little bit. Nice. And we made it happen, man. We made it happen. Stayed in Motor Cities, man, until they graduated out of high school. Yeah. And I said, you know what? It's time to go to Florida now because Detroit ain't where it's at no more, man. So yeah. I still love my city. I go back there and visit, man. But we had to get up out of there, man.
And what years was that? Was that what, the 90s maybe?
91.
91.
I had my twins in 91.
Okay, so
they just turned 29, man. So, whoo, yeah. I mean, I'm only 28.
Yeah.
They just turned 29, so everybody do the math on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, real deal, no. But they just turned 29, man. This was back in 1991. I was working at a Hardee's restaurant, man, making like $4.80 an hour.
Yeah.
But I was making a killing back then. We talking 91,
okay.
30 years ago. $4-5 an hour, man. Yeah. I was doing it. Yeah. Hey, but long as something was bringing something in to take care of the kids, that's all that matters to me. She was working, I don't know what she was working at the time. She was doing a little something. She worked in a restaurant too at the time. I think she was making $5 or $6 an hour. So,
yeah.
But, hey, we ain't never asked nobody for no help.
All right.
We had our own crib, you know what I'm saying? We bought our own food, paid our own bills, offered that little $5 or $6. Right. After a couple years went past, we got better jobs, but starting out,
yeah,
that's what we had, man. So we started from the bottom, baby. We started from the bottom.
Yes, sir. So you talking about Detroit in the 90s. So what was it? Was it any different? I'm more than sure it was a little different, from present day Detroit. With all the things that's going on out in that area. What was it like, raising kids in that era, throughout the 90s going into the 2000s?
Man, now I was on the east side of Detroit, 6 mile, 7 mile area. I've been around all kind of violence, it was fun back then. You know what I'm saying? And it was dangerous, but it was fun. It wasn't like I can't have no kid in Detroit. Oh man, my kid gonna die. You wasn't thinking like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not no thug. I wasn't in the streets. I was working.
Yeah.
So me, and like I said, my mother's brother, he had 3 sets of twins. He had 14 kids all together.
That?
14 all together, 3 sets of twins. So, and they was maybe a half a mile from where I live. We all live right in the 6 mile, 7 mile area. So we always had family to go to. So me taking my kids around them, that's all we knew.
Yeah. We
had parties. We set the basketball goals up out on the street, man, and we just did that. We didn't go to the west side. The west side is a dangerous set when you from the east side. So we didn't go over there. So it was pretty much, easy for us. It was dangerous, but it wasn't a lot of killing, a lot of shooting. It was a lot of drug selling. It was a lot of, police coming around chasing people in cars, and you sitting on your front porch, you like, damn, another police chase. But it didn't bother you because you're used to it. Like I said, it was now, man, the gun violence, there's no way I could live around that. It's worse now than it was back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s, you put them fists up.
Yeah.
You might get a brick thrown at your car or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same token, I can see Anthony Ray the next day. We both still living. We might not like each other, but we ain't finna run and go get no gun. Because back then it was guns, but older people had the guns.
Yeah.
Me and you at 19, 20, we ain't have no guns.
Just wasn't on. Yeah.
Y'all get out there in the middle of the street, do what you need to do, lock it up, make the best man win, and then we're going to go to school tomorrow and talk about it. That's how that was. Now, No, man, you drop a cigarette on somebody's shoe, man, you finna get shot, bro. It's just that bad because for the simple fact that the economy is messed up.
Yeah.
It's hard to get jobs, and you got to have a degree really just to work at somewhere to make $9 or $10 an hour. If you ain't got no degree, you ain't getting in that plant. And there's plenty of plants around there, factory, warehouses to work in. But if you ain't got that degree, you can't work for me. So now these guys got to get it in where they fit in at. So I got to be sitting in your bushes waiting on you to get off work. The man with the car over here, with the radio over here, with the rims over here. I'm waiting on you. That's what makes Detroit so bad. Now everybody is tearing up all of Detroit because what else they got to do? Ain't nobody got no jobs. Unemployment is skyrocketed. So I'm gonna wait in your bushes and wait till you get off of work.
Yeah, it's crazy. I met a little jit from out that way. He was from maybe a little outside of Detroit. I can't remember the little city name, but I met him a few years back. It was like 2 or 3 of them, man. 3 little jits, man. And they were out here in Gainesville, and they had found their way out this way, man, just trying to get themselves together. And man, I remember talking with him, and he was just telling me about all the stuff that they had going on out that way, man. I was just like, dang, he was just telling me how different Gainesville was compared to where they were. Man, I'm just like, man, I just couldn't imagine having kids that are going through that type of thing. If you ain't really got it like that and you raising children in those poverty areas like that, man, where it's, I can only imagine it was difficult. Even in the 90s, like you say, I know that was like the crack era hit them 80s, but I know it hit Detroit hard around that time.
Man, it hit it hard, man. I'm telling you, man, it hit it hard to where they was getting kids on there, like it was in the 10th grade, 11th grade, trying to get an education, but it was hitting our block so hard. And you looking at this guy over here, big dope dealer, man, and he got the fancy car and all this other old stuff. But he a drug dealer, but he's untouchable.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody touching him. You know what I'm saying? So instead of him not doing it or taking it outside of Detroit and going making some money somewhere else, he was raised right there in Detroit, so he know everybody. He know every ins and outs. He know every corners. He know what the undercover police look like. He know what cars they drive. So he was untouchable, man. Now, growing up, my brother and them, I had 2 brothers that my oldest brother, he never got into the drug thing.
Yeah.
He was a family man, pretty much like me. But the one that's under him, the 2 that's older than me, they got into it because that's what they saw. They see Anthony Ray, use your example. They see Anthony Ray with the new Pumas on, with the new Adidas on, new Adidas shell toes. How you get that? Shoot, big dog put me on. Now guess what? I want to get put on.
Yeah.
And that's how it rolled from us. But man, my mom was like praying every night that she gonna get that phone call, come up here and identify this body because we know it's your son or this or that. Because everybody was known in the neighborhood, but man, look, when them drugs start rolling down through there, man, I'm talking about all these pretty nice houses that we used to have, bro. We used to have all kind of, people live in our neighborhood, whites, blacks, Chinese. When we first moved over there from Arkansas, we first moved to Detroit, dog, it was just like, because when we was in Arkansas, it was pretty much the country.
Yeah.
You moved to Detroit, this is a city.
Yeah. Constantly,
everybody doing something all day, all night. And them boys wanted that money, man. And now, like you said, 2000s, killings. But if you getting money, I need to get that money. If me and you grew up together and you getting money and I'm getting money, but you getting a little bit more than me, me and you homies, 10, 20 years, I got to knock you off because you getting a little bit more than me. And it always comes out. Who did it, who killed who did it. Wait, you mean tell me this man killed this man and them boys been homies for 30 years, 20 years? Yep.
Sad, man.
It's real sad, man. My homeboy, shout out to Sean O. Shano was doing it big, man. He got into the drug game and he went and bought a Corvette. Now you in Detroit, you getting plenty of money off of this drug, and you the only one at 21 went and bought yourself a Corvette. Your main homies that you was putting on, but you wasn't putting on enough. The main ones that shot him 7 times in the chest. While his little brother was in the car with him in front of his house. They were just sitting out there just chilling. And we was telling Shana, man, you got to get out of Detroit, dog. You doing it too big. You know these guys. You know these guys jealous, but you don't look at it like that because them your homies.
Yeah.
But your homies is jealous of you because they can't go purchase no vet right now. You doing it big right now. They still looking like peons, but y'all all start together. Now you might have branched off and go and talk to this guy and get you a little bit more clientele. And that's what he did. Hey man, once he did that, man, he was a good guy. He was a good guy. He just got into the drug. Then he got a little big, but he was in Detroit, man. They hit that man 7 times in the chest, broad daylight, sitting in front of his house where you would least expect it at. Didn't even touch his brother. His brother was sitting in the passenger seat. They just wanted him. Why? Because they was jealous. That's why I say, man, when I got to the point where I can get out of Detroit, and it's all over the world. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But when I got to the point where I can get out of Detroit, I was gone, dog. Yeah. My kids was up in age at the time. I said, I got to go, man. Because I wasn't no drug dealer. I wasn't no thug. I was working, but I seen it around me every day, all day. Around that, And then my brother and them got into it, and I really wanted to go there because I'm like, I can't handle taking no phone call. Hey, man, come on down to the hospital because I think your brother. No. So I said, you know what? I got to go. And my brother and them, they still up there, thank God. They still up there in Detroit, man. Yeah. 20 years. I've been in Florida 20 years, and they still up there. So I don't know. It's rough, man. It's rough, dog. But
dang. It's, man, for any young man out there listening, you know, that's a lesson that I always try to tell a lot of young cats, man. You know, always be careful of the company that you keep. Always. Because even people that say they be your friends, people that say they be down for you, man, it ain't always that situation like that, man. You know, you can't, you cannot put your trust in just anybody. You know, you always got to watch your surroundings. You know, that was one of the things, you know, I have a friend that got in a situation like that doing 15 years in prison right now behind something similar to that. And it always blows my mind when I think about it because we were all so close. Right. And I'm like, dang, you know, you were the person that you least expect to do something like that and turn it back on you, you know, be the person that'll do you in a lot of times. So, yeah, man, for any of y'all, if y'all got young kids out there, man, or a young man listening, man, talk to your kids about that type of stuff, about their friends and, you know, the company that they keep, because that is it's a serious thing.
It's a serious thing. It's always I want to do what my friend do. I want to do what my best friend do. It's like I'm a follower, and it's easy for these kids to follow up. You know, instead of having their own mindset, it's easy for them to. I want to be like Anthony Ray. Man, look at all the money Anthony Ray get. Look at all the money Stephen Woods get, man. Let's go be like them. But they know me and you on the wrong path. They don't care. Me and you getting quick money right now. And I'm going to reel in them kids, and then them kids going to reel in some old kids, and then that's when the vicious cycle start, man. So, like you say, bro, you got to talk to your kids, son and daughters. All right. Because there's some girls out there that's in the game, too. And they the ones that's really, you know, they doing it, but they the ones that's really setting up the players. They setting them up and knocking them off just to get that money. So, like you say, man, I was thanking God that my kids graduated. My kids went to college. Up in Detroit. You know, we was one of the lucky ones. We was a blessed family. Everybody don't get to say that. You know what I'm saying? That their kids went to college. Their kids graduated out of high school. There's so many of my friends, man, that when I moved here to Florida, like I said, I pretty much I had a whole high school full of people that I used to, know me and I know them, and I would get phone calls from my brothers, man, like every weekend. Bro, so and so dead. Okay, it'll hurt your heart. What's gonna really hurt your heart is when they call you back 3 days later and say, guess who did it? His close friend, his cousin, his best friend's homeboy. Like, really? But that's the main thing. It's just not no. Now, I can't speak for everybody, but it's not no random shooting that, Detroit is just so bad, man. They got random. It's not no random shooting. Everybody, when you kill somebody, it was planned by a person that know them. Mm-hmm. That's how it always be, man. Like you said, it's my friend. I trust. I do this. I trust this. I tell this to him. I tell this to him. I tell that to him. Them to be the ones that kill you, man. Them be the ones that kill you. Because I got so many that's locked up that you done killed your own homeboy that you've been knowing since 5th, 6th grade. And you wait till y'all get 25, 30 years old because you can't get a job because you don't have this degree. So now you want to bump this man out the way so you can be standing on that block making that money. And I ain't talking about fighting, I'm talking about killing. No, man, I had to get away. I had to get away from that, man. I had to get away from that. It's bad, man. It's bad.
But like you say, like it definitely is a blessing, that you were able to keep, be able to shield your kids away from that, and they were still able to make it through school and go on to higher education and do those types of things, because there are a lot of parents that don't have that testimony to be able to say that, that their children made it through that, either because of prison, death, whatever the case may be. And that's definitely a blessing, man.
Yeah,
so
man.
Shout out to your kids for that, man.
They doing it, man. They stayed out of trouble, man. And, I just thank God for the baby mamas that I had that actually stirred straight. They want to be working ladies, and they made sure that their kids had better than what they had. And I just picked the right baby mamas, man. And
shout out to the baby mamas.
Yo, man, no doubt, man. You know what I'm saying? I love them all, man. They did their thing, and I'm proud of them, man. Like I said, I'm proud of my kids, man. And, I'm still making them, though, baby. I'm still making them, you know what I'm saying?
Because right now, so you got one that's like basically my age, and then you got...
Them the twins.
Yeah, the twins. So you got...
My twins is 29, man.
So you got that, and then you just had a brand new baby.
Well, I got about to be 10 months next...
Jesus Christ.
I got 10 months. He finna be 10 months old, man, in 3 days.
How is that, bro? To start all.
Bro, it's
dang.
I'm starting all back now. I'm 48 now.
Yeah.
And I got a 10-month-old, and I'm starting all back over. But you know what? He keep me insane because I got a 10-year-old too now.
Yeah.
I got a 10-year-old, little Sergio, shy Sergio. So he 10. He kept me insane. So I was 38 when I had him. Yeah. Now I'm 48 when I got this one. But you know what? They keep me insane, man. They keep me out the streets. I know I have to do right by them. I don't want no other man raising none of my kids. So all my kids are pretty much grown, except for these two right here, the 10 and the 10-month-old.
Yeah.
So I don't want the next man. That was my responsibility. I did what I had to do. So I want to stay out the streets. I want to steer them straight, show them what a man's supposed to be. Yeah. Get you a job. Go to school and do what you need to do, and take care of your family. So that's what I'm doing. So I had this 10-month-old. I don't need no help. I work. You know what I'm saying? If I have another one, I don't need no help. I work. But if I get to the point where I'm too old and I need some help, well, damn, help a brother out. But for right now, I don't need no help. So it's a blessing for me, man, to have another knucklehead boy in this world, man. And I can show him the right way. I want him to do better than me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I'm on a good path. I record clean. I work for the last 20-some years since I've been in Florida. Now, when I was in Detroit, I wasn't working at all. I was working off and on, but that wasn't a way to show my kids, this is how life goes. You get a job, 3 months later, you laid off. You get another job, 2 months later, you laid. since I've been in Florida,
Yeah, and that's stability.
I had that full-time job, 20 years.
Yeah.
I would have never accomplished that in Detroit. I knew I wouldn't. So I thank God for that, man. And I want to show them the same route. You know, so you got to get out here and work for it.
That's real.
Don't ask nobody for nothing. You get out here and work. You're not handicapped. You're not physically disabled. Get out here and work for it. And that's what I'm trying to show them. And that's what every man should be able to show their son or their daughter. Get out here and get it on your own.
Yeah.
You don't need no help.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? Get your job. Do the right thing. If your friends that you're running with or your so-called like, if you know they're on the wrong path, disown them. Let them go.
Got to.
Let them go, man, because it's easy to get on that path and your whole life will change just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Whole life will change just like that. Dad, I'm in jail for what? Such and such stole a car, you know, and I didn't know it was stolen. Mm-hmm. But I know he still called, but I didn't know this one was stolen, and he jumped out and ran, and I got caught. Well, you know the friends that you hang out with, so, you know, like you say, man, you just got to talk to your kids, man, let them know, hey, this is not the right way. The right way is go to school, get your education, and get you a job.
That's real.
And that's where it is, man. That's where it been with me, and that's what I'm going to show these boys, man.
Mm-hmm. Man, one thing I'll say about you, that I got a lot of respect for you because it's hard, bro. I look at what you got going on. So you work with one of your daughters and your old lady.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got two women that you care about, beautiful women.
Right.
You know, your daughter, your old lady, beautiful women. And within a warehouse, for anybody that don't work in a warehouse, understand the atmosphere of a warehouse. Most of the time, a warehouse be full of men.
Most of the time.
And these men that work in these warehouses, you be working hard. A lot of times, you don't see no women. So when you see women, that's attractive,
boy,
jokers be in there like some wolves. Boy, they be looking at the charts because they like, oh shoot,
who is that?
What?
Who is that?
And that's all you gonna see them for 8 to 12 hours a day. That's what you see. And so for your lady and your daughter to be in there, bro, how do you do? And it's funny. I always tell people. I remember when I first. I remember one time, this guy came in, you know, to the department. He was looking, you know, it was like, man, who was that? I say, look the other way, bro. I say, he say, why you say that? I say, listen, bro, look the other way.
Right.
Because you look too long. Right. Dude named Steve gonna be coming around that corner.
Come around that corner in a minute, boy. I can feel it. I'm coming around that corner in a minute.
Listen, and so while I was talking with him and telling him that, I'm like, man, that Steve lady. He was like, who is Steve? Right. I said, you gonna see him a little bit. Man, bro, listen, maybe a couple minutes later, you were coming around beep on that. I said,
set up like that, did you, big dog? You ain't set it up like that, did you?
I say, there you go. I say, that's Steve right there. I say, yo, bro, just keep it moving, bro. Look the other way, you know, just do your own thing. And it's always so funny because, you know, then I was telling them, I remember one time I got on the radio. I was like, hey Sean, you got a copy? So you answered it talking about, Sean said, what you want? I was like, man, I called Sean. Talking about Sean said, what you want? I said, man, I ain't messing with Steve. But, you know, I can only imagine, like, what that would be like, you know, knowing that you have these two women that you care so much about and knowing that these men are licking their chops at all times. And I know cats be saying stuff. I done witnessed it. You know, cats just come and slick out their mouth, and I'm like,
every day.
Dog, how does Steve deal with that?
I'm gonna tell you how I deal with it, man. I'll tell you how I deal with it. When I was young, man, I went to jail a couple times.
Yeah.
The first time I went to jail, I was in there for like 3 days. Wasn't nothing holding cell, no drive with no license or whatever. They held a brother down, and it wasn't fun. And I'm talking about I was in Detroit. Yeah. It wasn't fun at all. So I got back out. You know what I'm saying? I was out there on the block, gambling, doing whatever. You know the police don't like that. And I went back a second time, maybe a couple years later, because it wasn't no back-to-back.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple times later. Now, this time they hit me with 30 days.
Yeah.
So they hit me with 30 days, dog, and I swear to God, that shit felt like, man, 30 years up in there, because I ain't never been, my brother and them been, but I ain't never been, so I'm in there 30 days, man, so I lost my job. You know, I had my girl used to come up there, you know, visit me, man, and I'm sitting in this room, you know, and she on the other side, and I know she finna get ready to leave in an hour. Ooh. So I'm like, you know what, man, I can't do this, man. So then my oldest brother, my second older brother, he did 10 years. He did 10 years off a 2-year bid. He ended up doing 10. Dang. Now, I'm going to explain to you real fast, and this probably all over the world. Yeah. But as me growing up, by me having 3 older brothers, I done seen what they went through with their women. I done seen how people react with their women, you know, before I was even out there like that. The one thing that in Detroit, and like I said, it's probably all over the world, but in Detroit, what I witnessed, they have 0 tolerance for disrespect. Yeah. No matter what level it's on, they have 0 tolerance. So once you disrespect a man about his family, about his wife, his girl, his daughter, his kids, or whatever the case may be, or just him, they finna handle that right then and there. Yeah. They not gonna, I'm finna give you another chance, bro. No, they handling that right then and there, because, not that I'm handling it because of a woman. Yeah. I'm handling it because you disrespect me as a man. Your respect. So, I was big on that. But I was never the type like how my brothers and how his homeboys was. They handled stuff right then and there on the spot. That's the reason why my brother can't work for nobody. He has to work for himself. He can't work for nobody, man. When he got out of prison, my oldest cousin got him a construction job. Fresh out of prison. Told his boss, hey, man, my cousin need a job, man. He got him a job. The foreman on the job site, my cousin had left to go do something. Left my brother there on the job site, and the foreman had said something slick out the mouth, and before you know it, my brother's on top of his head. Yeah. Fresh out of prison, didn't care about going back because he felt disrespected because the man tried to talk to him like he was a kid. Yeah. Because you the foreman over this job. But you talk to people like they're little kids or something, like they don't have kids. Mm-hmm. And everybody's not going to take that disrespect. You know what I'm saying? So, boom, right then and there, my brother didn't go back to jail or go back to prison, but he told my man up on the job site right then and there. My cousin had to come from 10 or 15 miles where he was at to come get my brother and take him home. Of course, he got fired. And that was that. Because it's 0 tolerance for disrespect, man. So in the warehouse, man, you know, it's hard for me, but it'd have been real easy for me if I didn't have no kids. Yeah. Because I could bounce from job to job. Yeah. But at the same token, you know, why do that? Yeah, you gotta be wise. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of disrespect that I take far as from my lady with these guys, or my daughter, you know, with these guys. And because I sit back and I reflect on that jail time that I did, them 30 days, baby, that wasn't no joke. I know people probably laughing at me, like, 30 days? Yeah, 30 days is a lot, bro. Yeah. When you sitting in a jail cell, you know, with 25 other guys that you don't know nothing about, all different kind of cultures, all different kind of race. You know, some of them coming in talking about they just got done shooting at the police. They just got done shooting at this guy. You know, this man over here done beat his wife to death. And you sitting there, man, just like, bro, I don't even belong in here. I just want to get out and go home. Mama, come get me. I just want to go home. You know, stuff like that. Yeah. So, you know, I sit back and think about that, man. And another thing is the reason why I don't react, Anthony, because people nowadays, man, when you get into somebody, man, they not giving you no second chances no more. Yeah. So me and you just can't fight it out and come back to work the next day and think everything gonna be good. Straight up. It's a killing scene now. So if me and you fight, somebody gonna have to die within 24 hours. Because you don't have time with your family to watch your back. Every time you go to the gas station or you want to take your wife out to the movies or something, and you thinking, damn, what's Steve at? And that's how it is. So with me, you know, I hate to say it, man, but when I get to somebody, dog, my brother, I got 2 brothers that been shot twice. Thank God they still here. But he said the reason why they got shot twice on 2 different occasions is because they gave that person a second chance to do it. They said they not doing it no more. They're not giving nobody no second chances no more because that guy tried to kill them on the spot. So I gave him a second chance to do that. And he said, I'm not doing it no more. So he said, I'm arguing with nobody. I'm not fighting with nobody. He too old because he's a couple years older than me. Yeah. So he said, you better listen. You better take that to heed. They not give you no second chance no more. So ain't no sense you sitting there arguing with nobody, you know, tussling with nobody because when they see you again, you might be vulnerable. You might be with your kids. You might be with your family. You might be at a park or something. And you done got the best of this guy. You got people in the warehouse laughing at this guy. That man not going to take that lightly, man. Yeah. So he going to want to set an example of, you know, who had the bigger balls. Now he want to kill you, but you don't think it's that deep. But to him it's deep because you embarrass him at work. So it's a lot of stuff. The reason why I take what I take is because when I take it there, dog, I'm taking it there because I want to be that man to tell the story to the judge. Now, you give me 30 years, okay, but I want to be the one living to tell the judge, you know, what happened. Straight up. So that's how I look at it. And there's a lot of disrespect going on in the warehouse, man. You know, you already know, man. I take it, I eat it, you know, and I come on home, man, and it is what it is because it's not worth me, you know, taking no life over a few words being said or somebody disrespecting me. But if it get to that point of just total disrespect, then we're gonna have to dance. We're gonna have to go there. But I eat a lot of stuff, man, and I eat it because I want to be there for my kids. I want to be there for my son. I got 2 grandsons. Right. You know what I'm saying? So them boys looking good. They growing up. I want to be there for them. And me sitting in prison for 20 years or 30 years because of, you know, what this guy said to me, you know, it's not even worth it, man. So, but if it ever comes down to it, I'm going to have to be a man about it. Yeah. But they better know, dog, I'm not giving out no second chances. Yeah. That's just life, man. No more second chances, man, because I've already been told by blood brother, don't give them no second chance. You know, so, and that's where I say, you know, and I could just like not talk to these guys, you know, and you try to let your daughter know or your fiance know, hey, listen, this guy's on the wrong path. Stay out his face. Don't do this. Don't egg him on. You know, whatever. And let's just work at it like that. Yeah. But once they continue with the disrespect, man, then you know you have to be a man and stand up and handle that. But you always got to know in the back of your mind, dog, this man ain't gonna take this lightly. This whooping you about to give him, he not gonna take it lightly. And that's just this day and age. Back in '90, like I said, I see people fight out in the middle of the street, man, and get up and go play basketball the next day. Straight up. Not no more, man. Not no more. Yeah, not no more, man. Nowadays, man. Yeah, it is, man. Somebody cut you off at the red light. You get down to the next red light, they're ready to kill you. They ready to kill you, man. So life is rough, man. So like I say, man, you got to be in your kids' life, man, and try to show them the right way. Every action don't need a reaction. Man, all right. Every action don't need a reaction, man.
And that's such a great point to make And I ask you that knowing the answer because I know you got too much on the line. Like, and that's something that I tell, I talk with a lot of guys at the job, and that's the type of stuff I talk with guys about,
Mm-hmm.
Even with me, guys disrespect will be running their mouth and all this stuff. And it's like, for me, I'm like, you think I'm finna give my freedom away or even let you even get me close to doing something like for you?
Right.
Like, man,
it's not
on,
even worth it, man.
I think about my babies and my wife. Like, come on, man. Like, y'all boys ain't even close. Man, I ain't losing no sleep over nobody in that warehouse. I ain't losing no sleep over not one thing somebody done said about me.
Right.
It's like, it just ain't worth it. I know I have way too much going on, and I know people be like that because they be miserable and they want you to come down to their level with them.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I just ain't got time for that. I was talking with somebody about that earlier this week. I had that question asked to me, and I'm like, bro, listen, everything I got going on outside of Walmart, man, this is where I work at.
This is where you work at, bro.
This is where I come at. You see, if something going on with my kids, I'm quick to tell them folks, listen, I ain't gonna be there today.
Right.
And that's on y'all.
Right.
I ain't, and I'm not indebted to nobody in there.
Right.
I'm looking at what I got going on outside. My wife, my children, all that talk, man, that stuff don't bother me, man.
No.
Because I've been like that my whole life. I ain't never had to put my hands on nobody because nobody ain't never had to put their hands on me.
Right.
My thing was always, you don't touch me, I ain't gonna touch you. I don't care how much you say. I done had a lot of people tell me stuff they gonna do to me, but I don't know what it's like to get punched in my mouth because ain't nobody never did it.
Right.
I'm like, shoot, hey, if you gonna do it, then you gonna do it, bro. If you gonna slap me in my mouth, whatever you say, do it then.
Do it.
Ain't nobody ever did it, so I ain't never had to slap nobody in their mouth or punch nobody in their mouth because I ain't got I tell my kids, they young, but I still tell them the same stuff. Don't put your hands on nobody. Nobody shouldn't be putting their hands on you.
Right.
Straight up. You let people talk all day long.
Yep.
And people gonna do that because that's what they do.
And
they talk.
And what's gonna hurt them the most is when you excuse yourself from the situation and you ain't sitting there and engaging in it. And they like, now they looking like damn fools because they trying to egg you on to do something crazy to them. And you like, bro, you ain't even worth it. When you tell somebody, bro, you ain't even worth it, now they looking like, what you mean I ain't worth it? Bro, you're not even worth my time. I'm not finna fight you, man. I'm not finna argue with you. You can say whatever you want to say. But you miserable. I ain't miserable. I'm doing good, bro. You don't want to argue with me. You know what I'm saying? So, but like you said, once you touch me, it's gonna be me or you, man. Somebody gonna have to live to tell the story.
Straight up.
And I'm finna try to live to tell the story. So that's really why I say I take a lot, man. I eat a lot, I swallow a lot, and then when I get home, I realize the reason why I swallowed all that. For your family and for your kids, man. That's the reason why. And then you go back to the job the next day, you hear about this same guy that started something with somebody else.
Listen, bro.
Come on, man.
All right, we ain't even gonna get to that though.
Yeah, it's a whole nother situation.
Yeah,
it's a whole nother situation.
The warehouse life is that's a whole other thing.
Ain't nothing but a TV episode, man. Everybody's in everybody's business, man.
Every day, man. Man, talk to me about grandfatherhood, man. What's that's been like?
Man, now as a grandfather, it's just the same to me as being a dad, man. Yeah. You treat your grandkids just like you treat your own son or your own granddaughter.
Yeah.
The good thing about it is though, you get to visit them when you want.
Mm-hmm.
They get to come over to your house when they want.
Mm-hmm.
But you get to send their butts back home at any given time and any time you feel like.
Yeah.
Hey, come get your kids. I'm done for the day.
Yeah.
And you ain't got to worry about it because it's not your own kid. Yeah. But it's the same, man. My grandkids, man, them two boys, man, they getting big, man. I just look at them like, okay, yeah, they grandkids, but I feel the same way about them, as I do my own son.
Yeah.
Can't nobody say nothing to them.
Yeah.
Can't nobody touch them.
Yeah.
Can't nobody disrespect them.
Yeah.
Or you're going to have to come see your granddad. Just like with the kids, you gotta come see daddy.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a blessing, man. I was like, damn, man. You know, I ain't even trying to boost myself up, no man, but I don't look like I should be no damn granddaddy.
Yeah.
You know, and I get that a lot. I'm trying to let this hair grow on my face so I can look like an older man. But, you know, it's like, I tell them I got 2 grandkids. You got who? Yeah. I got kids that's 29, almost 30. How old are you? Look here, man. But you know what that come from, Anthony? They come from not worrying about nothing, putting God first.
Yeah. Sleeping good.
Sleeping good, man. Sleeping
That's
good.
real.
Don't worry about nothing. Just sleeping good. If your lady get on your nerves, man, go to bed.
Yeah.
No, go to bed, dog. Don't worry. Sleep it off. You know what I'm saying? So I tell them I ain't got no worries. I wake up, man. I got a little bit of money in my account. Yeah. I can pay my mortgage. Yeah, I don't rent. I can pay my mortgage.
Yeah.
I can pay my car note. And I can take care of my kids on my own.
Yeah.
So what I'm stressing about?
Yeah. Straight
Ain't no sense of stressing. You got all of that. Then you can ride past all these blocks, man. You got people out there holding up signs. You got the unemployment rate highest ever.
Yeah.
So when you can wake up and you got a full-time job you can go to, your kids is healthy, your wife is healthy, you healthy. What I'm stressed about?
Yeah.
So you gonna stay looking young. You know, I hit the gym. You know, do what I gotta do.
Okay,
stay out there.
Come in there.
Okay.
My boy walk in the warehouse and get dark.
Solo, dolo. You know what I'm saying? Like Bernie Mac said, I take my shirt off, this whole mother get dark. I'm like that. I'm trying to get there. But that's the whole thing, man. Just stay stress free, man, and you know, take care of your family, man. Everything else, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, put the man first and everything else gonna happen for itself. Ain't no sense of stressing out, man. Now when you lose your job, you ain't got no income coming in. Yeah, you're gonna stress a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's where that second part of your fiance or your husband, that's where they come in at when, you know, they lift you up, man, and take care of it until you get back on your feet. Mm-hmm. But like you say, you can't be no hothead, man, because you'll never have a job. You'll never have nothing because you want to whoop everybody. Mm-hmm. I want to whoop the whole warehouse, but I can't. So why even start with one when I can't whoop the whole warehouse? Yeah. Because I get disrespected. I feel like I get not by the whole warehouse, but there's so many of them out there, from my lady to my daughter or whatever the case may be. I can't whoop everybody. Yeah. So I ain't no sense of me even starting, because I want to start with the biggest and the baddest, and I might start with a little peon. Now I'm sitting in jail for 30 years for the little peon, and I ain't even get to the big guys yet. So I stay stress free, man. I don't even worry about it, man. As long as my daughter, my lady don't say, hey, this man didn't touch me, or this boy didn't touch me, I'm good, man. Because they can, you know, black women, they can handle themselves, man. Yeah. You know, they'll cuss them out or whatever. They don't care about the job or whatever. And we'll just go from there. But my daughter very rarely come to me and say somebody disrespected her without her, you know, handling it herself. Same with my girl. So I don't have to get involved in it, man. Because, you know, when men get involved, it's like 2 lions going at it now. And somebody gonna have to give. And I always got that mentality of no second chances, man. So I try to stay out of it. I tell my babies, my ladies, my daughter, them, don't bring me nothing unless it's about to go to that point. Yeah. Don't bring me nothing about no he say, she say, or this little argument, you know, or this or that. If that man ain't put his hands on you, don't bring it to me. Because I don't even want to hear it at all, period. Let alone, you know, somebody out there disrespecting your kids like that. And they know that's your kids because we all been working together for the last 10, 12, 15 years. So that man or that lady know that that's Steve's daughter. Mm-hmm. That man or that girl know that's you know, that's Anthony Ray's niece, or, you know, that's his lady. So they know that already. So don't bring me nothing unless we about to take it there. Yeah. So that's the reason why they don't tell me a lot of things. So I stay stress free. I clock out and I go home, baby.
Straight up, man. Straight up. Hey, y'all can learn a lot from this man, because there's a lot of people that, you know, I know not just at our job, but on a lot of jobs, man, that get themselves in things that you ain't necessarily got to be going through that stuff, man. And y'all be stressing about nothing. You know, allowing things that ain't got nothing to do with you stress you out, and you take that stuff home. When you start taking that stuff home, now you arguing with your children. Now you arguing with your lady for nothing.
For nothing.
You know, because you mad at somebody at the job.
Right.
Man, leave that stuff at that workplace. When you go home, love on your people, man. And I'm talking to myself, you know, when I say that, because sometimes it's just so hard to leave that stuff where it's at, because you be wanting to do certain things, but it ain't worth it. It ain't never worth it, man. You know, your family deserves for you to have. They deserve your all. They deserve your full attention when you leave that workplace stuff at the workplace. For real. And that go for men and women, you know. Leave that stuff where it's at. You come home, love on your man, love on your woman, love on your children, love on yourself, man. You know, it ain't, none of that stuff is ever worth it. Straight up.
And that's how you defeat the devil, dog. That's how you defeat the devil.
That's real, man. What would you say to, what advice, if you could give the 18-year-old Steve Woods one piece of advice, what would you say to him? If you could go back and talk to yourself and you could just tell him one thing, what would you say to that young man at 18? Knowing everything you know right now.
Knowing everything that I know right now at 18, well, I pretty much, I don't want to, my kids are a blessing to me, and I'm thankful that I had them. But at 18, knowing what I know now, I probably wouldn't have had no kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I had an Army recruiter. I was working inside of a mall. Mm-hmm. And I had an Army recruiter come to me and talk to me and told me come down to his office. He want to recruit me, and he want to send me out. Okay, I did all of that. I get down there, I talk to him, and I was 19 at the time. And I was ready to go to the Army because I heard so much good things about how you can live, what kind of money you can make. You go to the Army. I went down there and told the man I had 2 kids. Kicked me out.
Dang.
No questions asked. He ain't say what kind of health I was in, nothing. I told him, I said, man, I'm ready to go, but I got 2 kids. And he said, we can't use you. And that's just what the recruiter told me. And I left back out of there. And the next day I went back to the mall and started back working. And I never looked at it again as far as, you know what I'm saying, going to the Army or the Navy or whatever, because that stuck in my head. I had these 2 kids, so what else can I do? So that I kind of felt like that at that day and age, that held me back from me living a whole different life. But at the same token, it wasn't for me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm still here. My kids is like I said, they done went to college and all of those stuff. So I guess the Army wasn't for me at the time. Mm-hmm. So I would say, hey man, wrap it up. If you that young, you know, kids don't supposed to be having kids anyway. You know what I'm saying? But if you do, then hey, you gotta take care of them. You gotta do what you need to do to support them and take care of them. But to me, I think I wish I had somebody say, hey man, you're not ready yet. Wrap that thing up. You know what I'm saying? You just 17, 18 years old. Yeah. You shouldn't be having no kids right now. So my brother and them, they was already having babies, and so they couldn't tell me, you know, not to have no kids. But at the same token, you know, we wasn't really trying to have no kids, but we wasn't really preventing it from not having none either. So it happened, and that set me back, you know, a little bit, but it didn't stop me. Mm-hmm. I loved on my kids, man, and we grew up together, and hey, I kept on working, and I took care of them like a man's supposed to do. And we moved on, but that's about it, man. Like I said, I stayed out of jail. I didn't get into no drug. I don't smoke. I ain't smoked a cigarette in 40 years. Yeah. I never even had weed. Yeah. Never. But I got brothers that smoke weed. I got brothers that smoke cigarettes. Cousins, aunties. I'm talking about close in the vicinity. Everybody. Mm-hmm. I was never that guy to be like him or be like my brother. Or be like him and let's smoke this weed. That's cool. Yeah. Cool to me was getting up in the morning, getting out of school in 9th, 10th grade and going to play basketball for 6-7 hours. All right. That was cool to me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, and I can see how people go, you know, and drink and get drunk. And I'm talking about sleeping on my mother's front porch or, you know, out there falling asleep in the front yard. Come on, man. Who want to be like that? So that told me, hey, you want to be sleeping in your homeboy's front yard because the parent might not let you spend the night over to their house. So where else you gonna go when you dead, pissy drunk? You sleeping on somebody's yard. It's been plenty of time my homeboy been out there. We wake up, they out there on the front porch or out in the yard, sleep. Man, I don't want to be like that. So I never had the urge to smoke cigarettes, weed, nothing. Now I just sip a little bit when I'm at home on special occasions. But you come to my house right now, you ain't gonna find no beer cans in my house. You ain't gonna find you might find a little bit of Hennessy balls every now and then, but that's it. But I still get up and go to work every day. I'm not gonna be pissy drunk. If me and you go have a drink right now, I'm gonna drive myself to the bar and I will make sure that when I'm done, me and Anthony Ray done hanging out, I am capable of driving myself back home where I don't have to borrow no ride from Anthony or I borrow no ride. Because it's not even worth it, man.
So be responsible.
Yeah, you got to be responsible, bro. So that's me. So I'm not no smoker, really not no drinker, but I don't know what to give myself advice back then because I ain't really done nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, wrap it up. That's my only advice. Wrap it up and stay out of trouble. Be a leader, man. Not no follower. Be a leader.
Straight up. That's real, man. That's some good stuff. One more question, man. If you could work on one thing as a dad, man, what would be that one thing, what's that one thing that you can be better at in your parenting?
Oh, man. I'm going to be straight up. I'm going to be honest with you. My discipline is like terrible.
Yeah.
I'm talking about terrible, dog. I mean, you talk to my girl right now, I let my son get away with pretty much anything. I let my kids get away. I think, man, I ain't gonna even lie to you. I think out of all 6 of my kids, I got 6 kids. I think out of all 6 of my kids, you probably can count on 2 hands how many times I done whooped all 6 of them together. Yeah. So, they tend to get like a little bit of slick mouth, and I kind of like let it go because, I seen the way my mama handled us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And when she handled us, boy, she handled us. So I try not to do that to my kids, so I kind of like let them get away with more stuff than I should. So I think with the parenting, I think me disciplining my kids, I should be more hard on them. Besides just a conversation. Yeah. Because I can talk to them and they know they can get away with it because dad ain't gonna do nothing but just talk. Yeah. Dad ain't gonna punch, dad ain't gonna whoop us, dad so I think that would be my main thing is as a parent, be more disciplined, like how my mother was. But I'm in their life. If what I'm saying, my daughter, that's 15. She been in gymnastics for the last 10 years. Yeah. I travel up there to Orlando to go to her little cheer competitions. I try to be there doing that, show her some support. Then come back with my son that I had signed up for football, taking him to all the little football games. And my other 2 sons that live in Orlando, I had them in soccer when they was 3, all the way up to they was like 10. Going back and forth, they practice and stuff. So I'm not no perfect dad, but they know daddy gonna be there when he can. When he can't, they not gonna get mad because, if he might not make it this Saturday, but he might be there next Saturday. Yeah. So they know that. But my hardest thing was just, hitting the kids, man. Like, you be wanting to hit them, man, because I be wanting to punch them sometime, man, but I just can't. And then I just let them get away with it. Now they think they done got away with something because I didn't really discipline them, like how I was supposed to. But, I didn't do all of that, and they still turn out good. Yeah. So I figure I don't have to put my hands on you. And they say that about my little 10-year-old right now. But, I mean, shit, look at my 16-year-olds and look at my 29-year-olds. Yeah. I ain't had to beat y'all. Y'all went to college, y'all went to high school, and y'all stayed out of jail, so I'm not finna start beating on him because y'all say, "Oh, you got a slick mouth." And but when I feel like it, Anthony, when I feel like punching him, I'm not gonna whoop him. But when I feel like punching him, he gonna know daddy hit him. But I think that's pretty much my biggest downfall, man.
You know, it's funny. I seen a study. This is sometime maybe this week, last week. I seen a study that was saying older parents are more lenient, but it helps the children once they become older be more, what word am I looking for? They're usually better emotionally, they're better in social situations because of, I know a lot of times when people have children young, you know, you're less established. You got all of these other factors going into things that you got going on. A lot of times you just have, you know, these financial problems, and younger parents more than likely, you know, compared to older parents, are usually, you know, they have more stress. They have more stress on them, so they're always on the children, on them. And I can attest to that, you know, because me and my wife, you know, we were 20. I was 23. She was 21 when we first. I think, yeah. My oldest is 8. I be losing track. I think I was 24. My wife was 22 when we had our first child, and I just look at all of the challenges that we've had over the years. You know, like now we're like, this is the best we've ever been financially where we are now. But when we first started out, you know, there was a lot of years where she wasn't working because we were having the children.
Right.
You know, it was just so much going on. I moved her here to town when we got married, and it was just a lot of stuff going on. And that stress, it was so much going on in the home. And it was just a little harder now. And now it's like, sometimes I wish I could be more like you and just let stuff go. Just be like, I just want to talk to them sometimes.
Right.
You know, but sometimes that's so hard because I do have a lot of, like, even still today, I got so much stuff going on because I'm in school. You know, I'm building this podcast from ground up. Just got a lot of stuff that I'm trying to do.
Working full time.
You know, then they got all their stuff going on. You know, they're in karate and gymnastics. And then my wife got her stuff that she got going on. And there's just so much. We're still trying to get established.
Right.
I think, like, say, for instance, like where you and Sean are now, that's with the little baby. It's like he's going to grow up with parents that are much more established than, say, your twins when you were 18, still trying to, like, he's going to grow up with so much of a different experience. Right. You know, and I think it's going to be really healthy for him because it's like you got these parents that are so much more stable in their life. You know, you're more calm. I think a lot of times when you're older, you know, you settle, you know, you ain't got all that stress and all that stuff going on. So I think it's a good thing, you know, because I'm more than sure that you're, you know, like you said, okay, you talk to your children and stuff. I think that's better for as they grow up, because now when you learn to talk with your children, and that's something that I've been working on for years now. You know, my oldest child only 8, but I'm still trying to work so that when she's 13 and 14 and 15, I want her to be comfortable enough to come to me when she's made a mistake and know that I ain't finna chew her out and yell at her and hit her or nothing like that. I just want her to know that she is comfortable, you know, to just come. Man, you come, let me know what's up, and we gonna talk about it. Right. You know, and I think that's a really good thing, though.
And another thing is, man, like you say, because, I mean, talking helps, because some of these parents, when they beat their kids, man, their kids ain't coming to tell them nothing.
All right.
The kids ain't coming to tell them because they already know what's about to happen. Mm-hmm. So why am I finna set myself up for this and tell my mom I skipped school, or tell my mom I drunk some beer, or tell my mom I had one cigarette? Why, when you know what's about to happen? So they're going to keep all that a secret, and then they're going to do it again. Mm-hmm. They're going to do it again. And now before you know it, they hooked. Yep. And you ain't know nothing about it because your kid is so scared to come and talk to you because of what the physicality you finna do to them, they not gonna talk to you.
Straight up.
So that's why I say, man, you know, my mama has 5, 6 boys. 4 of us was the only ones getting whooped because at the time, you know, the other 2 they was big. Most of the time, my oldest brother had to whoop us, but I mean, and she just whooped us like when she know we done something. We might get kicked out of school. She might not even whoop us for that whole week. We home for the whole week. Then we back in school doing good.
Yeah.
Now she come home, the doorknob broke. Who broke the doorknob? Don't nobody know who broke the doorknob. Okay, I'll tell you what. All y'all line up. Now you like, what for what? Mama, I was at school. Yeah. You know, okay. Well, you remember when you got kicked out 2 weeks ago? Come on in here and get this. You know, so she whooped up, we got in trouble off of stuff that, you know, we done, but she let it build up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, with 5 or 6 boys, man, my stepdad wasn't even the physical type. Yeah. So we wasn't even scared of him.
Yeah.
Cause she was the king, queen, the everything in the house. Cause when it come down to it, she lay the law down. He just get up and go to work. He just the man of the house. He ain't whooping nothing. Yeah. I mean, he got a soft voice. He ain't whooping nothing, man. So we wasn't even scared of him. So and most of the time, you know, my mama, she stayed out of our business. She didn't care what girl you dated. She didn't care if you had kids or not. You know, she ain't getting all that. That girl right there ain't no good for you. She's a tramp or none of that. You know, you could be in a relationship today and be out of it tomorrow and be in another one. She ain't gonna say, you know, she just stays out of it. That's how she kept calm. Yeah. You know, with 5, 6 boys, you know, women, man, come on. She learned that a long time ago. So I think, like you say, man, talking to them, you can get them, you know, to come and talk to you. I'm not worried about my daddy punching me in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, if I tell my daddy I was around, even if I was just around y'all and y'all smoke cigarettes, he gonna think I did it. And I already know what he gonna do to me, so I'm not gonna even say nothing. You don't want your kid thinking like that, man. And that's how they get strung out there. And that's how the streets raise them. Instead of you raise them, the streets raise them because they go talk to their kids or, their best friends and this and that. And they might get kicked out of school or something for a day or two. You don't know nothing about it. They over there skipping school in their best friend's house or whatever, you know, and, you know, you don't want that, man. So that's why I say, and don't nobody ever in life think my kid is a bad kid. Yeah. My kid ain't gonna be the kid that's gonna be skipping school. My kid ain't gonna be the kid that's gonna be smoking a cigarette or having sex at 10 and 12, 13 years old. Not my kid. Yeah, buddy, your kid. It's gonna be your kid. It could be my kid. It could be anybody. Ain't nobody kid acceptable to this. Everybody's out there. So, like you say, man, that's my biggest downfall is discipline. Yeah. Other than that, I'll talk to him, man. I'll talk to him till I'm blue in the face. And then when I get blue in the face, I might hit a little bit because I'm blue in the face. But I didn't. And the main thing is like with my son, he do stuff over and over and over. So you're not even learning from the first 2 or 3 times. So now I got the itch because you keep doing the same. It ain't nothing different. So, okay, say, well, Dad, I learned from this. Well, Dad, I didn't do this no more because, you know, you told me about this. It's the same stuff. Yeah. So it's like, okay, yeah, you doing the same stuff. So you smart enough to know that that's wrong, but you still do it. So come on, let me holler at you for a minute. Yeah. You know, on that situation, yeah, but if it's different stuff, they learning, they constantly learning, you know, and they gonna get in trouble here and there because it's new stuff, it's not the same stuff. Then yeah, man, you just gotta sit down and talk to them, man, and you know, let them know, oh, I'm still the daddy, but this what gonna happen if you keep on doing this. Yeah. And most of the time, the women, they most of the time, especially with boys, I done seen a lot of female get on their boys without the dad even have to do anything. And that's how so many boys be scared of their moms. Yeah. Man, Dad, I need to talk to you. I don't even want to talk to mama. Let me talk to you. Because if I go in and tell mama I smoked a cigarette, you might not even see me no more. So, and that's good, man. You got a parent that's gonna lay the law down.
Yeah.
And you got that Cliff Huxtable.
Yeah.
That wanna talk it out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm that guy, I wanna talk it out. I don't wanna beat you the first time you do something wrong. Yeah. But man, like I tell you, man, when I got it, bro, it was rough, man. My mama didn't play. I was my extension cord. Go out there and get your own switches. And I wish you would come back with a switch that's so skinny that when I hit you, it's going to break. So I think that's my biggest downfall, man, my discipline. And I know my daughter, you work with her and you can ask her, Tuesday. She'll tell you, my dad is a pushover.
Yeah.
And she know it. She know it because she pushed over me too, so she know it.
Yeah, so, man. But, man, I think we've covered a lot here, man.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you having me on, man. This was a blessing. I'm glad you're doing your thing.
Yes, sir.
We need more guys like this or more guys like you out here doing this thing. Just a positive image, man. Yeah. And a positive podcast. Like I said, we can talk about kids. We need to get into, relationship type stuff, man. Just a lot of positive stuff that, we can cover or you can cover because you doing a you got a nice setup here. So you building it from the ground up, brothers. You doing the right thing, man. So, I commend you on that, dog. Not only that you working full time and you got these kids that you got to take care of and you got your wife, you got your whole house. So, you still find time to do something positive.
Yes, sir.
And that's a blessing, dog. That's a blessing.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that, man. I appreciate your time, man. And like I say, man, I wanted to bring you on because you're one of the brothers that I do really respect, in that warehouse, man. I always tell people, you never know who watching you. You never know who you can inspire. You ain't got to even talk to people every day, but people are watching, man. And I can say, that I've been paying attention. I've been at the warehouse for 5 years, man, and I just will say this, I paid attention to you, and like I say, bro, it's very commendable, what I know you're up against, because,
right.
like I say, I work in the Mars and stuff, and I hear stuff,
right,
and I be like, dang, boy, y'all jokers.
They don't care, man. They just
y'all jokers do not care.
They do not care.
And it's like I say, man, it's very commendable for you to be able to, continue to do what you do. Never allow anybody to make you lose your cool and take you off of your square and continue to be who you are, man.
No doubt.
That's definitely commendable, bro. Man, I just appreciate you, man. Blessing the podcast. Man.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me on, big homie. I appreciate it, brother. Yes, it was a long time coming.
Yeah.
But, we here, man. Like I said, man, whenever you want to, I got an hour out of any 24 hours of the day. So when you want to, hey, man, come down, man. We finna talk about something different. Yep. I need you on.
Yeah.
Hey, man, like I said, tell me. I'm going to find me a babysitter.
Yeah.
For that hour, baby, we can make it happen, man.
Yes,
we can make it happen.
Yes, sir, man. We gonna do that for sure, man. So for all the listeners out there, man, like I always say, I appreciate all y'all support, man. I appreciate everybody that, keep me uplifted, man, and continue to encourage me and what I'm doing, man. I appreciate everybody that listens to the podcast and gives feedback, and I appreciate all the people that's left reviews and subscribe to the podcast, man. All I can say is I appreciate everybody, man. I definitely got a lot of support in the community, man. And y'all stay tuned, man. June 26th, I'm gonna be hosting my own live event, man. So I'm doing an event where it's gonna be a conversation between men and women. Because over social media, I always see all of this stuff. Men do this or women do this. Why men here? Why men cheat? Why women wear this? Why women act like this? What? And I was like, man, you know what? Let me bring men. Let me try to start the conversation, especially between black men and women, because I believe there's a great divide between us, and I just feel like we both sides has issues, And I believe that there's a lot of things that we don't talk about enough, for married people and single people. We don't talk enough. When I say don't talk enough, I mean men to women and women to men. I believe we hold a lot of things back. We're not open enough with each other, and I believe that we could be much more open and we could talk about a lot of issues. So at this event, we're gonna be doing it at the Bay, which is also Swamp City Gallery on Main Street. Man, we gonna get it in. I got a 2-hour slot, man, where we gonna sit down. It's gonna be some single men, some single women, some married men, some married women. I'm gonna be one of the hosts. I'm gonna be speaking for married men. My wife is gonna be another one of the hosts. She's gonna be speaking for the married women. I got my man Kendall Kelly, also known as Facts Only. He's gonna be speaking on behalf of single men, and my girl Cedrica Daniels, she's gonna be speaking on behalf of single women. And then we're gonna have people that's gonna be in the crowd, and we're gonna be asking questions, and we going deep, man. We're gonna be talking about a lot of things, and I'm just letting y'all know, if you come to this event, we ain't holding back. Y'all gonna be able to have a chance to come into my home, because me and my wife, we have all types of conversations. If y'all can only be inside of our house, we have some heated debates about a lot of different things. And I think it's healthy. It'd be healthy conversation. And sometimes it get a little heated. But we're just both passionate about things that we talk about. And I just think it's good, for our marriage. It's been something that, I can talk to my wife about a lot of stuff, and I bring up issues, and sometimes we might say some stuff that might hurt each other's feelings or we might not agree with, but we talk about it and we put it out there. And so we bringing this to the community, and trust me when I tell y'all, I ain't holding back. I already told my wife, don't be offended, because I'm going to speak my mind. And I told her I ain't going to be offended, and I want her to speak her mind at this. And for the other hosts, it's going to be the same thing. We ain't holding back no punches. We going to talk, in a civilized, respectable manner. And we going to put some stuff out there. We going to get some stuff off our chest, man. So if you're a single man, single woman, married man, married woman, a person that just in between, you know what you are, man. Come to this event, man, and come bring your questions, cause we gonna open up the floor, and we gonna, like I said, we getting it in. I ain't holding that back, man. So we gonna definitely go in. So that's gonna be going down on June 26th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. That's a Saturday, and yeah, man. So if you follow me on social media, there's a link that you can go to on Eventbrite. I think the event is gonna be called, I almost forgot the name of the event. The event is I can't think of the name of it right now. My mind just went blank. But yeah, man, if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, it's on that on my social media pages, man. Go and find out how you can reserve your spot. We don't want too many people, because we don't want it to be this big, huge thing, but, we want some people to be there, man, and we gonna get it in. So that's June 26th. And then on June 18th, on that Saturday, that Father's Day weekend, I will be having a live event at the Rock School. I'll be posted up at one of their basketball camps, and I'll be questioning some of the dads. So, yeah, I got some stuff coming up, man. Next week, for those that do follow on social media, and y'all know V Live on deck, man, I got Pops coming on next week. So if anybody know anything about V Live on deck, man, and if you know anything about Pops, it's about to get live next week. Trust me. And I got a lot of stuff I want to talk with Pops about.
Yeah,
man.
I need to be there.
Yeah, me and Pops got a lot of stuff we need to talk about, for real. But yeah, we gonna get it in next week. So man, Dad, can we talk? Like I've been saying, man, we ain't stopping. It's a lot of stuff going on. I got a lot of things coming up, man. Y'all continue to stay tuned. Y'all continue to support. I got shirts on deck. Got some different colors in, man. So yeah, man, y'all get with your boy, man. But outside of that, we out of here, man. This Dad, y'all talking out.
Peace.